Flight Boss, bitch, you know, for sure. You're not listening to the Mind Evident Terry's Moon. Flight Boss, the Archangel Uriel, and I'm here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. And right now, we're going to talk about reincarnation, incarnation, and decarnation. And what's the difference between them, and the reason behind why all your religious texts only want to preach about reincarnation. Because when we talk about that's redoing something. So, and then all your ancient texts is about spirits taking on and making men and women do things. You see what I'm saying? And that's a spirit wanting to relive an experience when you bring it to the end, when you bring it to the conclusion of whatever you're talking about. You see what I'm saying? Now, before we get into this, you need to understand this. There's a certain energetic force in the number 3, which correlates to 1, which comes out as 0. So when we talk about frequency, vibration, energies, each of these have the 3 to them. Like frequency have a frequency, vibration, energy. Vibration have a frequency, vibration, energy. And energy have a frequency, vibration, energy. We know frequency is the birth, vibration is the life, energy is the death. And all things that falls under frequency is spirit, unconscious. So it's your own unique conscious. You see what I'm saying? That other people are not consciously aware of. So it's the unconscious. When you get knocked out unconscious, you see what I'm saying? But what I'm unconscious of, what I'm not consciously aware of, is your conscious, unless you choose to express it. So it kind of correlates like the sun and ascended in certain type of ways, but the frequency falls up under spirit, space, line of events, timeline, conscious, spirit, space, the unconscious. Vibration comes second, which is your seconds, your time, experience, movement, motion, emotion, fluid, all things that falls up under that. Subconscious. And then when we got energy, all things that matter to you can become matter, could become physical, could become into density, could become a devil, could become a disposition, could become, you know what I'm saying, a shape or form. So this is the death portion, the death stage, the energy stage, the physical portion. So that have 3 processes also. That has a frequency, vibration, energy also. That has a spirit, a soul, matter also. That has a fluid to it, that has a gas to it also. Just the energy realm itself. So once you know that, the death stage have them 3 forms too, then you understand that these are 3 beings, 3 bodies. So now that you understand that, let's correlate them. Now, when we want to talk about reincarnation, that's going to go with the experience. So that goes up under vibration. When we go to decarnation, that's deductive, the art of deduction, the art of subtraction. That's going to go with the frequency, the unconscious, your own conscious awareness. You see what I'm saying? The unconscious, the frequency, the spirit. You see what I'm saying? The subconscious is tied to the reincarnation, redoing something, because we know the subconscious and the mind and the soul and the fluid and the water, all things that tie up under vibration, is correlated to memory. So anything that got the word re in it, I don't give a fuck what language and what description and definition they try to give you. It's redoing something. So when you got and reincarnation, is reliving something, re-experiencing, that memory is filtered up under that in a lower density. So it still have to correlate to that pyramid, to that hierarchy of that pyramid, which is vibration. So reincarnation have no choice but to be tied to the subconscious vibration, right? And then when we look at incarnation has to correlate with the death portion, which is the energy, the matter, because incarnation is, now let's break them down so we can understand these. Now I had to correlate those, you know what I'm saying? So the decarnation would be frequency, which is the unconscious. Reincarnation will be the vibration, which is subconscious, and then which you're consciously aware of outside of you. The incarnation will be the conscious, the matter, the energy, which you're consciously aware of outside of you, not your inner conscious, which you're consciously aware of from another conscious. You see what I'm saying? So this will be the incarnation. So now let's break them down. What does each of these represent? And why the ancients don't talk about incarnation or decarnation, and why you need 3 of these bodies, why you need the 369. Because here, check this out. When you talk about reincarnation, right, that's reliving an experience. So reincarnation is redoing something, reliving something. So this is the process that a lot of you are in right now. This is why the subconscious realm is so heavy for y'all, because y'all are in the life process of reincarnation. And anytime you have a lot of experience in something, you start to experience the bad and good out of it. But the more and more you experience it, the more and more you get tired of it. Just think about a video game you play constantly over and over again. A relationship that constantly keep doing the same type of experiences over and over again. You keep experiencing the same type of circumstances and situations. You get tired of it. So when you are in a life and you start experiencing all the shit that you're tired of, you in this life you experience like, oh, we got to get a job, we got to do this, you got politics, we got to vote. I'm tired, all the shit in the world that you feel like you're tired of, and things of that nature. And then you start to realize it's more shit that you're tired of than shit that you're not tired of. And when you experience something new, it's like a breath of fresh air, revealing, refreshing always, but you experience more of the shit you're tired of. Think about that. You're in the process of reincarnation. So that's a hint. That's telling you spiritually, inclination, incline, light bulb on top of your head. That's forcing you to realize with your real eye, your first eye, that you're in the process of reincarnation. So you're living in a vessel that you already lived in before. So you was either another human, and then you probably got pets, you're probably into animals, everything that you're consciously aware of, the things that you are experiencing, all things that you see within your experience, me included, are experiencing. These are vessels we already have took. See what I'm saying? See, it's not until you witness a bug you don't are unaware about, or an animal you are unaware about, or a piece of, or a thought, or a feeling, or a piece of you that you are unaware about, that you're just now figuring out, that you become into the land of uncomfortability or lostness and need to regain comfortability or regain direction. It's not until you get into those realms of realities till you realize or witness a situation you haven't done before, a piece about yourself you haven't thought about before, or animal or bug that you encounter that you never thought about before. See what I'm saying? So that's letting you know that you're not tasting the other worlds. You're unbalanced. So you're dealing with reincarnation. So all the things that you are experiencing, like bugs, animals, and even humans, in different ways how humans act, these are things that you are reincarnating yourself into. You see what I'm saying? You keep reincarnating. Now, what is incarnating? Incarnating will be a representation of taking a new form. Not redoing something you have already done, taking a new form. So that'd be taking a vessel, a form of uncomfortability, new experience. So incarnation, that's taking on a new form, a new shape or form, and things of that nature. And when we talk about decarnation, decarnation will be letting go of something, letting go of a form, letting go of something physical, letting go of something of the flesh or something like that. That's letting go. So, like I was saying, you got frequency, vibration, energy. Now, in the energy realm, the death realm, this is what people get lost in, and they know, they are aware of the other two, but since they're lost in the physical, they want to make it all as one. But that's another video. Now, when we talk about the death stage, this have 3 forms too. You see what I'm saying? The 3 forms of the unconscious, conscious, and the subconscious. The frequency, vibration, and the energy. The energy, matter portion, the death stage, physicality stage itself have those 3 also. So when we want to talk about the 3 forms of this, when we talk about in the physical form, here's how in reality that you can play out in the physical and train your conscious awareness and train your subconscious brain by living in this way. Here's how you can correlate the 3. Now, in the physical reality, let's look at reincarnation. Reincarnation in the physical reality itself will be you continuously experiencing the same thing over and over again and redoing the same shit. So just think about how much shit that you redo over and over again in your relationships, in your friendships. You got a job, and you got certain things you do. You got certain rituals, especially religious people. You pray. Think about all the things you do over. You got habits. See what I'm saying? Now, these are the shapes and forms that you are making to create some type of incarnation. But see, incarnation is always taking a new form. But if you are redoing, reshaping, which is the shapeless, formless, odorless, non-flammable gas, this is what you truly are. And if you keep constantly reshaping and reforming in that fluid, the same shit, you're swimming in the same premortal waters, the same vibration, then whatever you incarnate in will be a reincarnation. You see what I'm saying? So you have to get through layers here. See, you truly don't take when you incarnate, where reincarnation is derived from, you incarnate into the same shit, where reincarnation came from. You see what I'm saying? And this is where spirits get lost. This is how spirits get lost. And this, when spirits have to learn how to decarnate, learn how, when they incarnate, they have to learn how to remember that all they did was reincarnate. They incarnated in something that they already experienced, into a vessel that they already have done. And then within that vessel, the spirit within have to learn how to decarnate, which is shed a lot of the carnation that so the next incarnate won't be a reincarnation. You see what I'm saying? So you need all three of these, but you got all your religions that's telling you about one of them. So and then it's ruled by a higher idea. About the idea of your religion is ruled by something that created it, created that idea, created that word, right? So is that spirit wanting to relive through its creation. This is why when you are a Christian, you have to make sure you say you're representing a Christian God. If you are a Muslim, you have to make sure you're representing the Muslim God. When you are this, you have to make sure you're representing that God, because it's that God. It's not the Pacific overall. You see what I'm saying? This is the only reason why y'all even have to get in debates and arguments. So, you know, this is what spirits have to learn. Now, from an earthly physical point of view, to decarnate is to start letting go and a lot of things here now, aka to shed and stop experiencing a lot of experiences that you don't want to experience anymore, right? And you learn that through the things that you keep on experiencing over and over again, which is the reincarnation phase of your physical life. And then the things that you haven't experienced yet, and all the new things, the things that excite you, fun things you haven't experienced before, new things, even if they're negative or positive. This is the incarnation stage that you will go through in your life. And with that stage, right, that stage enables you to know what kind of new vessels you can take. So you can look at old experiences and be like, nah, I don't want to redo that. So that's you don't want to redo that reincarnation. Then you let that go by the decarnation. So you go through that process. Then your spirit is able to be free enough to go into an incarnation that's not a reincarnation, that don't have to do a lot of decarnation in that reincarnation. You see what I'm saying? So you get into a new vessel with new experience, new learning processes, new things of that nature, new wisdom, new knowledges, or new overcomings and things of that nature. So you need all three of these forms. You need all three bodies. See what I'm saying? And nowadays, all your spiritual systems and all your religious texts only teach you about reincarnation. And when you understand that spiritual text, or understand that religious text and religion that you're lost into, it's always ruled by an authority spirit, a higher spirit. Even when you want to go to Christianity, you can't argue with me. In your Bible, it say the Spirit of God. It didn't say God itself. It said the Spirit of God. That's just like me. If I create an imagination, right? Within that imagination, that would be my spirit. So as above, that would be the star it came from. As within, that would be let's say, the idea of one of my blood cells or things of that nature, or my own concealed spirit. Let's say as without would be from an external reference. You know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? As below will be deep within me. So at the same time, or something up under me. You see what I'm saying? Like a star system or a star that come from up under us and things of that nature. And the fire from up under or things of that. So when you look at it from that perspective, that'd be like me in my world. Since I'm the God of my world, that'd be like an idea within one of my imaginations, which the imagination would be the world. All the ideas I can add on to that imagination will be spirits trying to take that world, live in that world. You know what I'm saying? And I just explained it as above, so within. So it don't matter how you want to explain where it come from, what theology you lost in, or which one it come from. In my science and astrology, it come from all of them as one, right? As above, so below, as within, so without. Now, that'll be like one of those in that imagination, one of those spirits within that world, aka imagination, right? And creating something off of that, aka an idea adding on to the parameters of that world, right? Now, that idea, aka that spirit, will be the God of that world, aka you may have an idea to do something, right? But it's something that sparks in your head that always remind you to do that, or that always makes you feel comfortable with doing that. You know what I'm saying? Based upon you may have a certain excuse for something you indulge into, or you may have a certain illusion that you're in for something that you like to do, or something. You see what I'm saying? That'll be how it plays. That'll be the God of that illusion. That'll be the ruler of that outlook. So that'll be like, so you got a lot of ideas and a lot of imaginations, but let's just say that Pacific one is this world, right? And then you got one idea that created portions of this world. So that would be like, okay, now me, I'm in my world. I got thousands of ideas and things of that nature. But the spirit, the thought form of that idea, of that imagination I created, which was the world, the idea, aka the spirit, that start creating and adding on to that and made me start physically doing things in my world to pertain to that. I don't know what's going on within the small world, within that imagination, but at the same time, that imagination is ruled by a bunch of other spirits and demi spirits and demi, aka ideas and demi ideas and demi thought forms and things of that nature. So it got hierarchies and lower shit and became physical in its own different creation. So when you look at your religion, that's how you have to look at it. When it say in the beginning, the spirit of God hovered over the waters. That was just, it wasn't God itself. That was one of God's ideas. And you caught up in the world of one of God's negative ideas. So one of God's negative spirits rule the world you're lost in. You know what I'm saying? We all come from different star systems. We all got different cells in us and different inner spirits. We all got an inner spirit itself, and we all got different outer influences, and we all got different below natures and things of that nature. So that's as above, so below. It doesn't matter. So at the same time, that's the same. All of us are not living in hell. All of us are not living in heavens. All of us are living in different worlds. So you have to understand that when you have to look at that as energy. So me as Archangel Uriel, when I look at a lot of y'all old ancient spiritual systems, I'm before all of that shit. So when I look at a lot of y'all ancient religious systems and a lot of y'all old spiritual systems, they only teach reincarnation. And the only ones who have access to incarnation is the ones who created y'all world. And then the one who created y'all world is an idea, is a spirit from the shit that's from the being that's already here. Remind you, all your religions is shit that's already here. There's already water that's already here. It's already a world that's already here. Y'all gotta understand that. Y'all creator is just a spirit wandering off in that world and trying to create his own world. So that's why you got so many religions, so many overlords, so many spirits that rule that, so many different spirits that rule different shit. That different gods that y'all call gods. You see what I'm saying? That's what it is. But when you understand that, and you'll be able to understand everything. You'll be able to understand energy. You'll be able to understand that man means time. Man don't mean like man mean ruler. You know what I'm saying? But it got trickled down into densities of thinking that man is the ruler of something. But when I was here in ancient like before y'all, all y'all civilizations, the Minotaur Sapiens, whatever y'all want to, Archangel, before my name, Uriel, as all energetic forces and spirits, when we was here, we looked at man as a time frame. We looked at ruler as a scale of time. You know what I'm saying? So this scale of time of events became its own frequency vibration, a life of its own. And it became down into so many densities that y'all look at it as men now, as men, women, or human, or something like, or mankind. You see what I'm saying? But this was just and y'all give it a look and things of that nature. Y'all gave it an imagination, but it's really just a time frame of, and it's a line of events. It's an age. You see what I'm saying? And it's an age when something was happening. And y'all are, and what you call man now is just an accumulation of all those worlds in one. Like, remember when I was saying how everything is space within space, and your shapeless, formless, odorless, non-flammable gas is traveling and creating a brain and a mind and a shell and a body for itself to sustain itself, so its gas don't, so your spirit, conscious, shapeless, formless, odorless, non-flammable gas just don't scatter, aka being lost in all imaginations, becoming real thin, not being in any realm of reality. That's like a person who lost in their imagination now here. You see what I'm saying? But it's like that in the spirit frequency realm, astral realm too. But that's another video before I get there. But you're building bodies for yourself, and through all these spaces, different worlds, different frequency vibrations, you're developing new shells, new pieces you can add on to yourself, and it play out like information before it play out physically. But physically you see it because of all the layers you have around your shapeless, formless, odorless, non-flammable gas. You know what I'm saying? The first one you built for yourself was like a nucleus. Then you built a sperm cell for yourself. Then you built, and you utilized all the space realms you're going through. And then it's like as you build a body, you attain all them informations by your travel through worlds, through spaces, through spheres of realities, locations. You see what I'm saying? So each body piece is really a world of its own. It came from a world of its own, and it is a different world. And you obtained this, and you're like a giant now with all these different pieces, aka star constellations, stars and suns and planets. You're all of these things in one, because your shapeless, formless, odorless, non-flammable gas is which is your spirit, your conscious, is big enough that it could take on a bunch of smaller worlds in its world. But this is why I say we are all stars. The way you're supposed to perceive it is we're all stars. We're all constellations. We're all solar systems. But you look at it as blood cells and body tissue and flesh and things of that nature. But I need you to understand that you're truly as above, so below. When I just look at you, it's just all color and numbers, but really it's just all a bunch of constellations clustered together, star constellations. And they're smaller ones. You know what I'm saying? Particles and minerals and things of that nature, these are all just smaller stars. Saying, and what you perceive as stars up there is larger shit, is just large. Everything is stars. Everything. I'm saying? And they all take different forms and shapes based upon their rotations and correlating with each other. But, you know, let me end this video, you know what I'm saying, before I go into something else. But because of why I think about everything the way I think about it. You see what I'm saying? Why everybody should get into astrology. But flight box, bitch, goddamn air.